The huge alien ship hung in space above Earth. For 3 days, it stayed there, silent and watching. People on Earth looked up at night and saw it shining like a new star. The aliens called themselves the Kravasics. They had met many alien species before, over 40 different kinds across the stars. Each time, they followed the same steps. Watch, judge how dangerous the new species might be, then make contact. When they first saw humans through their scanners, the aliens were not impressed. Humans had no claws, no tough skin, no special strength. Their technology was basic compared to what the aliens had. The Kravasics leader, Zorketh, marked humans as weak in his first report. In a big meeting room in Geneva, Switzerland, people from all countries gathered. They were nervous but trying not to show it. "The aliens want to land and talk," said the UN leader, looking around the room. "What should we do?" Dr. Alan Wright sat quietly at the table. He had studied the idea of alien life for 20 years. Now real aliens were here, and everyone was looking to him for answers. "We should meet them," he said finally. "We've been waiting for this moment for a long time." Beside him, Major Diane Miller nodded. Her short brown hair and strong face showed no fear, though inside she worried about Earth's safety. "I agree," she said, "but we must be careful. We can't look weak, but we can't seem threatening either." The next day, the alien ship landed in a large open field. Soldiers stood guard, keeping crowds of excited and scared people back. News cameras from every country pointed at the ship as its doors slowly opened. The aliens walked out, and everyone gasped. They were tall, about 8 feet high, with hard, shiny skin that looked like armor. They had 4 arms and walked on 2 legs. Their faces had large eyes that blinked sideways. Dr. Wright stepped forward. His heart was beating fast, but his voice was steady. "Welcome to Earth," he said. "We come in peace." The lead alien, Zorketh, held up a small device. When he spoke, the device translated his words into English. "The Kravasics Alliance greets your people. We have visited many worlds. We come to learn and to share knowledge." Over the next few weeks, the aliens met with Earth's leaders. They showed some of their technology and learned about human culture. They seemed friendly, but Alan noticed something odd. When they thought humans weren't watching, the aliens would look at each other in a way that seemed almost like they felt sorry for humans. During one meeting, Alan saw an alien easily lift a metal table that would take 3 strong men to move. The aliens were much stronger than humans. Later, Alan spoke privately with Major Miller. "Did you see how they act around us? Like we're children." Major Miller frowned. "Yes, during the military demonstration yesterday, they barely paid attention. It's like they've already decided we're not a threat. And have you noticed they always wear those breathing masks?" Alan asked. "They say it's to prevent sharing germs, but I think there's more to it." "What do you mean?" Miller asked. Alan looked out the window, where the alien ship gleamed in the sunlight. "I think Earth itself affects them in ways we don't understand yet, and that might be very important for us to know." What neither of them realized was that the aliens had already put humans in their records as a Class 3 non-threat species, their term for intelligent beings that were physically weak and posed no danger to the Alliance. The aliens had no idea they had just made their first big mistake about humans. The aliens set up their base near Geneva. They built it quickly, in just 2 days. Their machines did most of the work, lifting heavy parts that would need big cranes for humans to move. Zorketh led a team of alien scientists who studied Earth. They took samples of soil, water, plants, and air. They watched humans and wrote many notes. Always, they wore their breathing masks when outside their base. "They seem nice enough," said Dr. Alan Wright to Major Miller as they walked to another meeting. "But I feel like they're not telling us everything." Major Miller nodded. "Yesterday, I saw one of them pick up a car to look under it. Just picked it up with 2 arms like it was a toy." When they entered the meeting room, 3 aliens were waiting. One was smaller than the others, with lighter-colored skin. "This is Kelvor, our biology expert," Zorketh said. "She has questions about human physical abilities." Kelvor spoke through her translator. "We understand humans cannot run as fast as many Earth animals. You cannot lift heavy weights. Your skin is easily cut. How do you survive on this planet?" Ellen smiled. "We use our brains. We make tools. We work together." The alien made a clicking sound. "Interesting. But physically, you are limited." Major Miller didn't like the alien's tone. "We may not look strong to you, but humans can be very tough. Our soldiers train to fight in deserts, jungles, snow, and water. Yet you tire quickly," said Kelvor. "Our scans show human muscles are inefficient." Later that day, in their private lab, the aliens discussed their findings. "Their bodies are so weak," said Kelvor. "They have no natural weapons, no armor. They sleep for 1/3 of each day. Their young take years to mature." Zorketh looked at the data on his screen. "Something is strange. According to our models, they should have evolved stronger bodies on this planet. Their breathing system is most puzzling," said another alien named Trelzak. "It seems poorly designed for their environment." Zorketh turned to him. "Run a full analysis of Earth's air. Compare it to all other worlds we know with life." Meanwhile, Alan was busy with his own research. He had asked a young scientist named Ben Lopes to help him. "Ben, can you find out what's in those breathing masks the aliens wear?" Alan asked. Ben nodded. "I've been curious about that too. I'll see what I can learn." That night, Major Miller invited Alan to watch the aliens from a distance. They used special night vision goggles from the military. "Look," Miller whispered, pointing to an alien who had stepped outside their base. It took off its mask. They watched as the alien took quick, deep breaths of Earth's air, then quickly put its mask back on. It seemed to be struggling. "Earth's air affects them," Alan said. "But how? And why?" The next day, Ben came to Alan's office looking excited. "Dr. Wright, I got some readings when the aliens were testing our atmosphere. You won't believe what I found." Before he could explain, they were interrupted by a call. The aliens wanted to show Earth's leaders something important. In a large room, Zorketh stood before screens showing pictures of many planets. "These are worlds where we have found life," he said. "We have studied them all." He then showed Earth on the screen. "Your world is unusual. We have more tests to run, but we believe Earth may be what we call a high-intensity environment." "What does that mean?" asked one of the human leaders. Zorketh looked at the humans with new interest in his large eyes. "It means we may have misjudged you. Your weakness may not be what it seems." Alan and Miller exchanged looks. Something was changing in how the aliens saw humans, and it had something to do with the air everyone on Earth breathed every day. Ben Lopes couldn't sleep. The young scientist had been working in his lab all day, comparing the air samples the aliens had shared with Earth's normal air. Something important was hidden in the numbers, and he needed to find it. At 2 a.m., the lab was empty except for Ben. His eyes were tired from staring at screens for hours. Then suddenly, he saw it. "That can't be right," he said out loud, even though no one was there to hear. He checked his math again, then a third time. The answer was the same. Ben picked up his phone and called Dr. Wright. "Sir, I know it's late, but you need to see this right now." 30 minutes later, Alan Wright rushed into the lab, still wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt. "This better be good, Ben." Ben pointed to his screen. "Look at these numbers. Earth's air is 21% oxygen. According to the aliens' data from other planets, the average is only 11%. Alan stared at the screen. "Are you sure?" "I checked 3 times. Earth has almost double the oxygen of most planets with life. And there's more." Ben showed Alan more charts. "Our air pressure, temperature changes, radiation levels. They're all higher than what the aliens call normal. Alan sat down, his mind racing. So Earth isn't a normal planet. It's an extreme one. Exactly. And we evolved to live in these conditions. What's normal for us would be harsh for aliens. Alan grabbed Ben's shoulder. You've made an amazing discovery, but don't tell anyone else yet. I need to talk to Major Miller first. Early the next morning, Alan met Miller at a small coffee shop away from the alien base. So that's why they always wear masks, Miller said after Alan explained. Our air is too rich for them. Too much oxygen. Alan nodded. It would be like us trying to run a marathon while breathing pure oxygen. It affects their bodies, their energy levels, maybe even how they think. And they don't understand what that means about us, Miller added, her eyes widening. If we evolved in what they consider extreme conditions, then humans are much tougher than they thought, Alan finished. Our muscles, our lungs, our whole bodies are built to thrive in an environment that would stress their systems. Miller took a sip of her coffee. How do we use this information? Before Alan could answer, their phones buzzed at the same time. It was an urgent message from the UN leader. The aliens wanted all Earth representatives to meet at their base in 1 hour. When they arrived, Zorketh was waiting with several other aliens. Their body language seemed different, less relaxed, more formal. We have completed our assessment of your species, Zorketh announced to the room of humans. Based on our findings, we offer Earth membership in our alliance as a protected world. The human leaders looked at each other, confused but interested. What does that mean exactly? Asked the UN leader. You would receive technology, knowledge, and protection, said Zorketh. In return, you would follow alliance rules and guidance. Your people would not have voting rights in alliance matters, but you would be safe. Alan noticed how the alien's words were careful, like someone talking to a child. He caught Miller's eye across the room. She had noticed it too. You're offering to make us a lower class member, Miller said plainly. Zorketh's head tilted. We offer what is appropriate for your development level. One of the Earth leaders stood up. We need time to discuss this offer. As the meeting ended, Alan pulled Ben aside. We need to prove to them what humans can really do. And I think I know how. How? Ben asked. Alan smiled. We challenge them to live in our world on our terms. No technology, no help. Just aliens versus humans in Earth's extreme environment. Do you think they'll accept? Ben asked. Their pride won't let them refuse, Miller said, joining them. And when they do accept, we'll show them what humans are really made of. Ben Lopes couldn't sleep. The young scientist had been working in his lab all day, comparing the air samples the aliens had shared with Earth's normal air. Something important was hidden in the numbers, and he needed to find it. At 2 a.m., the lab was empty except for Ben. His eyes were tired from staring at screens for hours. Then suddenly, he saw it. That can't be right, he said out loud, even though no one was there to hear. He checked his math again, then a third time. The answer was the same. Ben picked up his phone and called Dr. Wright. Sir, I know it's late, but you need to see this right now. 30 minutes later, Alan Wright rushed into the lab, still wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt. This better be good, Ben. Ben pointed to his screen. Look at these numbers. Earth's air is 21% oxygen. According to the aliens' data from other planets, the average is only 11%. Alan stared at the screen. Are you sure? I checked 3 times. Earth has almost double the oxygen of most planets with life. And there's more. Ben showed Alan more charts. Our air pressure, temperature changes, radiation levels, they're all higher than what the aliens call normal. Alan sat down, his mind racing. So Earth isn't a normal planet. It's an extreme one. Exactly. And we evolved to live in these conditions. What's normal for us would be harsh for aliens. Alan grabbed Ben's shoulder. You've made an amazing discovery, but don't tell anyone else yet. I need to talk to Major Miller first." Early the next morning, Alan met Miller at a small coffee shop away from the alien base. "So that's why they always wear masks," Miller said after Alan explained. "Our air is too rich for them. Too much oxygen." Alan nodded. "It would be like us trying to run a marathon while breathing pure oxygen. It affects their bodies, their energy levels, maybe even how they think. And they don't understand what that means about us," Miller added, her eyes widening. "If we evolved in what they consider extreme conditions, then humans are much tougher than they thought," Alan finished. "Our muscles, our lungs, our whole bodies are built to thrive in an environment that would stress their systems." Miller took a sip of her coffee. "How do we use this information?" Before Alan could answer, their phones buzzed at the same time. It was an urgent message from the UN leader. The aliens wanted all Earth representatives to meet at their base in 1 hour. When they arrived, Zorketh was waiting with several other aliens. Their body language seemed different, less relaxed, more formal. "We have completed our assessment of your species," Zorketh announced to the room of humans. "Based on our findings, we offer Earth membership in our alliance as a protected world." The human leaders looked at each other, confused but interested. "What does that mean exactly?" asked the UN leader. "You would receive technology, knowledge, and protection," said Zorketh. "In return, you would follow Alliance rules and guidance. Your people would not have voting rights in Alliance matters, but you would be safe." Elen noticed how the alien's words were careful, like someone talking to a child. He caught Miller's eye across the room. She had noticed it too. "You're offering to make us a lower class member," Miller said plainly. Zorketh's head tilted. "We offer what is appropriate for your development level." One of the Earth leaders stood up. "We need time to discuss this offer." As the meeting ended, Alan pulled Ben aside. "We need to prove to them what humans can really do. And I think I know how." "How?" Ben asked. Alan smiled. "We challenge them to live in our world on our terms. No technology, no help. Just aliens versus humans in Earth's extreme environment." "Do you think they'll accept?" Ben asked. "Their pride won't let them refuse," Miller said, joining them. "And when they do accept, we'll show them what humans are really made of." Day 2 of the challenge began with a cold mountain morning. The human team was up early, eating a quick breakfast and packing their gear. From their camp, they could see the aliens moving slowly. "They didn't sleep well," Lisa said, watching through binoculars. "Their bodies aren't made for our day-night cycle." Jack checked his map. "Today we cross that river and climb to the next ridge. It's going to be tough." Miller nodded. "For everyone." When both teams set off, the aliens still moved faster, but their lead wasn't as big as yesterday. One alien was clearly struggling, stopping often to adjust its breathing mask. By midday, they'd reached the river. It wasn't very deep, but the water was cold and the current strong. The aliens stood at the edge, discussing among themselves. The human team arrived and watched from a distance. "They don't like water," Jack said quietly. "Look how nervous they are." The aliens finally entered the river. Their movements were awkward, and they seemed to find the cold water painful. One slipped on a rock and went under for a moment. When it came up, it made a high-pitched sound that might have been a cry of pain. The humans crossed more easily, using teamwork and experience. By the time both teams reached the other side, they were nearly even. That afternoon, as they climbed higher into the mountains, the air grew thinner. The humans felt it too, breathing harder as they hiked upward. But the aliens were suffering much more. "Their breathing masks can't help them enough," Miller said. "They need more oxygen than they're getting." Near sunset, one of the aliens collapsed. It fell to the ground, its breathing fast and shallow. The other 2 aliens rushed to help it. From a safe distance, the human team watched. "Should we help them?" Lisa asked. Miller thought for a moment. "We should offer. It's the right thing to do." They approached carefully. The alien on the ground was shaking, its skin pale. "Do you need assistance?" Miller asked. The lead alien looked up, pride and worry fighting in its large eyes. "Our team member cannot continue. The air is too rich, even with our filters, and your gravity is straining their body." Miller offered her water bottle. "This might help." The alien hesitated, then took it. After helping their teammate drink, the alien spoke into a small device. Minutes later, a small aircraft appeared and took the sick alien away. "They're down to 2 team members now," Jack said as they set up camp that night. Miller nodded. "And we still have 3 days to go." At the command center, Alan watched the data coming in from both teams' vital signs. The aliens were showing serious stress, high heart rates, unstable breathing patterns, muscle fatigue. Zorketh stood beside him, no longer hiding his concern. "This should not be happening," he said. "Our people are among our strongest explorers. They're strong on their world." Ellen replied. "But Earth is different. How do your people endure these conditions?" Zorketh asked. "We were born in them," Alan said simply. "Every breath we take from birth contains more oxygen than your people are used to. Our hearts and lungs develop to work in this gravity, this pressure." Zorketh's translator couldn't fully capture the emotion in his voice. "We have made a serious error in our assessment." "What kind of error?" Alan asked. "We tested human strength, speed, and endurance using our standard measures, but we failed to consider that you evolved in conditions we would consider extreme." Alan nodded slowly. "Now you're beginning to understand." On the morning of day 3, the remaining 2 aliens set out again, moving more carefully now. The human team followed, still strong and working together smoothly. By midday, something remarkable happened. The humans caught up to the aliens and then passed them. As Miller led her team past the struggling aliens, she nodded respectfully to them. "Earth's air is our strength," she said, "not our weakness." The truth about humans was finally being revealed. Day 4 of the challenge brought heavy rain. The human team put on raincoats and kept moving. Rain was just part of Earth's weather, something they had dealt with all their lives. For the aliens, it was another shock. Their skin seemed sensitive to the water, and they moved even slower than before. By midday, they were far behind the humans. "Should we wait for them?" Lisa asked as they reached the 4th checkpoint, a small cabin in a clearing. Miller looked back down the trail. "No, this is a fair test of how our bodies handle Earth. We keep going." Jack pointed to the sky. "Storm's getting worse. They'll have trouble with the lightning." He was right. An hour later, as thunder boomed across the mountains, the aliens finally arrived at the checkpoint. They looked miserable, their hard skin now dull, their movements stiff and pained. The lead alien approached Miller. "Your world attacks us," it said through its translator. Miller shook her head. "Not attacking. This is just Earth being Earth. We live with this every day." The alien made a sound like a sigh. "One of our team must also stop. The electrical activity in your atmosphere affects our nervous system." Now only 1 alien remained in the challenge. The final day would be human team against a single alien competitor. At the command center, Alan was showing Zorketh the data they had collected. "Here's what we've learned," Alan said, pointing to charts on a screen. "Earth's oxygen level is 21%. Your homeworld is about 9%. That means our cells get more than twice as much oxygen with each breath." Zorketh studied the numbers. "And your gravity is 1.2 times stronger than our world. Plus, our higher radiation levels, temperature changes, and atmospheric pressure," Alan added. "To your people, Earth is an extreme world." The alien leader's large eyes blinked slowly. "And you evolved in these conditions." "That's right. What looks like weakness to you is actually efficiency. Our muscles don't need to be as big because they get more oxygen. Our skin doesn't need to be as tough because we can heal quickly." Zorketh turned to Alan. We must update our report to the Alliance immediately. Humans are not a weak species. You are highly adapted to extreme conditions. On the morning of the final day, Miller's team set out early. They had a good lead, but there was still a hard climb to the last checkpoint. The remaining alien followed, moving carefully but steadily. Despite everything, it was still determined to finish. As the humans climbed higher, the air grew even thinner. They felt the strain too, breathing harder, muscles burning. But they were still functioning well. "We're almost there," Miller encouraged her team. "Just a few more hours." By late afternoon, they reached the final checkpoint, a weather station on a high ridge. From there, they could see for miles across the beautiful, harsh mountain landscape. 20 minutes later, they spotted the alien, slowly making its way up the final slope. Its breathing was labored, its movements nearly robotic, but it kept coming. When it finally reached the top, the humans stood and applauded. Despite everything, the alien had finished the challenge. "You are worthy," the alien said between difficult breaths. Miller offered her hand, and the alien shook it. "So are you," she said. "Not many could do what you just did in a world not made for them." That evening, as both teams were brought back to the command center, Zorketh called an emergency meeting with Earth's leaders. "We must revise our previous offer," the alien leader announced. "Earth will not be offered protected status." The human leaders looked concerned until Zorketh continued. "Instead, we offer Earth full Alliance membership as an equal partner." The room filled with surprised murmurs. "What changed your mind?" the UN leader asked. Zorketh's translator couldn't capture the new respect in his voice. "We have reclassified Earth. In our terms, you live on what we call a death world, a planet with conditions so extreme that most spacefaring species would require significant technological help to survive there." Ellen smiled. "And we call it home." "Exactly," said Zorketh. "Anyone who can evolve to thrive in such conditions is not to be underestimated." The challenge had changed everything. 1 month after the challenge, Earth's leaders met with the aliens to sign the Alliance agreement. The big meeting room in Geneva was decorated with flags from Earth countries and the blue and silver symbol of the Kravazix Alliance. Dr. Alan Wright sat in the front row, watching as the UN leader and Zorketh signed the papers that would make Earth an equal member of the galactic community. Major Miller sat beside him, now wearing a new uniform with both Earth and Alliance patches. "Did you ever think this would happen when they first landed?" Miller asked quietly. Alan shook his head. "Never. I was just hoping they wouldn't see us as targets." After the signing, Zorketh approached them. "Dr. Wright, Major Miller, the Alliance has a special request for Earth." "What kind of request?" Alan asked. "We need humans for our emergency teams," Zorketh explained. "Your people can work in conditions that would harm or kill other Alliance species." Miller raised an eyebrow. "You want us to be your rescue workers?" "Not just rescue," Zorketh said. "Explorers of harsh worlds, guards for dangerous missions, scientists who can study extreme environments without special equipment." The alien handed them a data pad showing planets that the Alliance had found but couldn't explore well. Some had high gravity, others had toxic atmospheres or extreme temperatures. "What looks deadly to us is just challenging for humans," Zorketh said. "Your people are built for conditions that would break most Alliance species." Later that day, Alan met with Ben Lopez, who had been studying the aliens' data about other worlds. "It's amazing," Ben said, showing Alan more charts. "Most life-bearing planets in the Alliance have oxygen levels between 8% and 13%. Earth is an outlier at 21%. No wonder they thought we were weak at first," Alan said. "They couldn't imagine evolving in our conditions." "It's like someone who grew up at high altitude," Ben explained. "They develop more red blood cells, stronger lungs. When they come down to sea level, they have an advantage in sports." "And that's us, on a planetary scale," Alan nodded. 6 months after first contact, the first human teams joined Alliance ships as special operations crews. Major Miller led one of these teams, with Jack and Lisa joining her. Their first mission was to a planet with 1.3 times Earth's gravity and fierce storms. The regular Alliance crew stayed in orbit, while Miller's team landed to rescue scientists whose research station had been damaged. When they returned safely with all the scientists, the Alliance captain was amazed. "You worked in those conditions for 10 hours without special suits." Miller smiled. "It was hard work, but nothing we couldn't handle." Word spread quickly about the humans' abilities. More Alliance ships requested human team members. Earth's status in the galactic community grew stronger each month. 1 year after first contact, Alan visited the new Alliance embassy in New York. Zor Keth was there, looking more comfortable on Earth now with improved breathing technology. "I have been reading your human literature," the alien told Alan. "Many of your stories are about facing difficult odds and winning through determination." "We like underdog stories," Alan agreed. "At first we found this strange," Zorketh said. "But now I understand. Your whole history is one of surviving in conditions that should be too harsh for comfort." Alan looked out the window at the busy city street. People walked by, talking, laughing, living their normal lives in what the galaxy considered extreme conditions. "What we thought was your greatest weakness turned out to be your greatest strength," Zorketh continued. "Earth's air, what seemed to us like a harsh environment, made humans uniquely capable." Alan smiled. "Sometimes the greatest strengths come from the hardest challenges." As the sun set over the city, Alan thought about how a simple thing like the air they breathed had changed humanity's place in the stars. What the aliens first saw as weakness was actually power. Earth wasn't just humanity's home. It was humanity's gift, preparing them for the galaxy in ways no one could have imagined.